welcome back to the podcast. Today we're diving into how to overcome interview anxiety, 10 tips to reduce stress and boost confidence. I'm Sara, and I'm here to help you navigate the nerves and turn your next interview into a success.
And I'm John. Now, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that interviews can be nerve-wracking, right? Whether you're stepping into one for the first time or you're a pro, those nerves can creep up on anyone. So today we're talking about a topic that so many of you have asked about: overcoming interview anxiety. We've got 10 tips to help you stay cool, calm, and collected, no matter what the interview throws your way.
Yeah, we know the feeling. Your palms are sweaty, your heart's racing, and you're thinking, what if I forget everything I prepared for? Been there. But listen, nerves are completely normal, and you're not alone. Today, we're going to give you some real practical tips that'll have you walking into your next interview like a total pro.
Exactly. And trust me, I've been through my share of interviews where the anxiety almost took over. But I learned a few tricks that helped me turn those nerves into confidence, and I'm excited to share them with you. Let's dive right in. Tip number 1: preparation, preparation, preparation.
All right, first things first. Preparation is your best friend. There's no way around it. The more you prep, the less you'll worry. Research the company, the role, and the industry. I remember a few years ago I was interviewing for a marketing role, and I spent days diving into the company's social media strategy, looking at their latest campaigns. On the day of the interview, when they asked me about their social presence, I was able to speak with so much confidence because I'd done my homework.
Oh, 100%. I did the same thing for a sales manager position. I researched everything from their financial reports to customer reviews. That level of preparation made me feel like I knew the company inside and out, and when you know your stuff, anxiety tends to shrink.
Exactly. And don't forget to prep some questions of your own. It shows you're genuinely interested and engaged. Plus, it can make the whole conversation feel more like a two-way street. Tip number 2: breathe through the nerves.
Next up, deep breathing. I know, it sounds cliché, but hear me out. When I was interviewing for my first job out of college, I was so anxious that my heart felt like it was about to explode. But right before I walked into the room, I did a few deep breaths. Nothing fancy, just in through the nose, out through the mouth. It calmed my nerves and helped me stay focused.
Same here. It's crazy how something so simple can have such a big impact. I also do a little body scan, making sure my shoulders aren't tense, that I'm standing tall and relaxed. It's amazing how much more confident you can feel once your body's in a more relaxed state. Tip number 3: visualize success.
All right. Tip number 3, visualization. This one's a game changer. I had a friend who used to struggle with interviews, but she started visualizing herself walking into the room, shaking hands with the interviewer, and answering questions smoothly. She would picture it all in her mind the night before the interview. It sounds a little woo-woo, but it works.
Totally. I started doing that before every interview, and it seriously helped. The more you can imagine yourself succeeding, the more likely you are to stay calm and positive during the actual interview.
Tip number 4, focus on your strengths.
Moving on, focus on your strengths. Here's the thing. You got this interview for a reason. The employer believes you have the skills and qualities they need. I know a lot of people get nervous about bragging or feeling too self-promotional, but honestly, owning your accomplishments shows confidence.
Yes. I'll tell you about a time I was interviewing for a management position, and the interviewer asked me about how I handle conflict. My gut reaction was to get all humble and say, well, I try to avoid conflict. But then I remembered they're looking for someone who can lead. So I spoke about a time I diffused a tense situation with a team member, and it really showcased my leadership skills. The shift in mindset made me way more confident.
Tip number 5: embrace the silence.
Here's a big one. Don't fear silence. We all know those awkward moments when the interviewer asks a question, and suddenly your mind goes blank. But here's the thing. It's okay to take a beat. I've been in interviews where the interviewer just sits there staring at me, waiting for me to speak. And guess what? They're not judging me. They're just waiting for me to gather my thoughts.
Yep. I remember being asked a curveball question in an interview once. I paused for a solid 5 seconds to think. It felt like forever, but in reality, it was probably just a couple of moments. The interviewer actually appreciated that I took the time to think before I answered.
Tip number 6. Dress to feel confident.
Okay, let's talk about what you wear. Dress in a way that makes you feel comfortable and confident. Look, I've been there. You buy a suit or outfit that you think will impress the interviewer, but you're constantly adjusting it or fidgeting. I've found that when I feel me in my clothes, whether that's a smart jacket or a cozy blouse, I feel a lot more at ease.
Exactly. For me, it's always about balancing comfort with professionalism. One of my interviews was at a startup, and I was worried about being overdressed, so I wore a more casual yet polished look. It gave me that confidence boost without feeling too stiff.
Tip number 7. Arrive early.
All right, tip number 7. Arrive early. Now, we're not talking about showing up 45 minutes early, but arriving about 10 to 15 minutes before the interview gives you time to calm your nerves, review your notes, and feel collected. I used to get there early, and I'd just take a few minutes to gather myself before heading in.
Yes, this is so important. I was once 10 minutes early to an interview, and I used that time to go over my notes in a quiet corner of the building. I walked into the interview feeling grounded and ready to tackle anything.
Tip number 8. Shift your mindset.
Here's one that helped me a lot. Shift your mindset. Instead of seeing the interview as a test you have to pass, think of it as a conversation to see if you and the company are a good fit for each other. This mindset shift can take a lot of pressure off.
100%. I had a moment like this during a tech interview. I was nervous about my coding skills, but then I realized they want to see if I'm the right fit for their team. So I focused on building a connection with them rather than stressing about being perfect.
Tip number 9. Remember, nerves are completely normal. Seriously, everyone gets nervous, even the most seasoned professionals. I've heard so many people, including CEOs, talk about how nervous they were in their first interviews. It's okay to be a little anxious.
Exactly. I used to think that being nervous meant I wasn't ready, but over time, I realized it was just part of the process. It's how you manage those nerves that makes a difference.
And last but not least, send a thank you note. After the interview, always follow up with a quick email thanking the interviewer for their time and expressing your continued interest in the role. I can't tell you how many times this simple gesture has helped me stand out from other candidates.
Same here. It's a small but powerful way to leave a positive, lasting impression. Plus, it gives you one more opportunity to reinforce your enthusiasm for the role.
So there you have it. 10 tips to help you overcome interview anxiety and feel more confident. Remember, you're not alone in this. It's totally normal to feel nervous, but with a little preparation and the right mindset, you can turn that nervous energy into something powerful.
Exactly. You've got this. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with anyone who could use these tips. We'd love to hear about your own experiences with interview anxiety. Feel free to message us or share your stories.
Good luck with your next interview, and we'll catch you next time with more tips and advice to help you succeed in your career.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep practicing, and for more English lessons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.